Hello and welcome to Face the Citizens. I'm your host, Iguma Gabriel, and a special welcome to the audience that we have in the Wizards Auditorium and you watching us at home by television. We are glad that you are part of the show today. Launched in the financial year 2013-2014 as government's response to widespread unemployment and poverty among the youth of Uganda, the Youth Livelihood Program has lived up to expectations for some people, and for some, it's been a disappointment. The Auditor General, in his report to Parliament just last year, 2018, showed that there were delayed payments, delayed access to money, non-payment, embezzlement of the money, groups disintegrating, showing that there is a problem with the Youth Livelihood Program. To have that discussion with us, we have from the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, Diana Naturinda Makobore. She is a communications officer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Also with us is Madame Chibirango Sharifa. She is a program associate, policy and governance from Uganda Youth Network. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And finally, we have People's Choice, Kasambia County Member of Parliament, Honorable Gafa Mbwa Tekamwa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Honorable, let's begin with you. The Auditor General submitted a report to Parliament at the end of 2018. And in this report, he had a couple of things coming out of his audit of the Youth Livelihood Program. As a Member of Parliament, what concerns has that raised in Parliament and with you as the people's representative?
Thank you so much, Gabriel. One, I need to appreciate the Auditor General's recommendation and even the report. Much as the Minister of Gender, because I happen to sit on Gender Committee, but Minister of Gender, when we interacted with them, they refuted everything. They never accepted whatever the Auditor General highlighted, but of which it is a reality. One, among the things he highlighted are, or she highlighted, or they highlighted, or the report highlighted, one, the ghost groups. There are so many ghost groups that were created either by CDOs, by sub-county chiefs, and they've stolen money meant for the youth. And they are claiming that actually it's the youth that tried to form these groups. But when you go on ground, you cannot see any group. It's not visible on ground. So I concur with the Auditor General's report. Then you realize that much as our youth have tried to apply, accessing this money without bribing the CDOs, you can hardly access. And above all, whether you are to access, you are even going to share. Either you get 50% or you find your group, which is the real group, gets 30%, but the youth who are supposed to benefit, they end up even get like maybe, they can even get 20, and the CDOs and the parish chiefs, they can get even 70%. So it's 100% reality. Then you will find out that some of the ventures, some of the businesses they've applied for, actually, in a rural setting, if you want to make sure that your business plan is funded, you must contact the CDO. The CDO is the one who helps you to formulate that plan, the business plan. And for sure, if you don't pass through the CDO and you make your own business plan, that one is not going to be funded. Because at the district, the CDO, when they are sitting, the same person who has made for you a business plan is going to be on the table to consider if your business plan is viable enough to make sure it can be funded. So you will find that even the youth who have made business proposals, they are not there. The proposals are not theirs. A youth might be interested in maybe rearing rabbits, But when you take it to the CDO, because the CDO knows that this one might not attract the attention of the panelists who are supposed to scrutinize, and so you will just even divert you, she will divert you to make sure that, can you think about maybe about welding? So you're diverted. And at the end of the day...
Is that a bad thing?
No, it's a bad thing. Because the moment you enter in any venture you're not interested in it, you will never be successful. You never succeed in that venture.
Okay. Honorable, let's bring in somebody from civil society before we listen from the people who actually run this program. Sharifa, as Uganda Youth Network, you definitely are interested in the running of the Youth Livelihood Program. In fact, you've written a couple of reports in relation to the way this fund is administered and what it's doing for the youth of Uganda. Did the Auditor General get it right? And Honorable Mbwa, is he diagnosing the problem correctly?
The Auditor General got it right, yes, thank you. But I think Honorable Mbwa is not so conversant with the processes of what these young people go through. Because it goes back to us as young people. At Uganda Youth Network, we made a research last year. And we found out that it is us, the young people, the youth, that don't know our rights. We are not informed on how to access this money. Actually, according to the survey made in Bushenyi, it is when the youth get this money, it is meant to be deposited on their account. But the problem the young people do is they get that money and take it back to the CDO.
To the CDO?
Yes.
Okay.
To approve that they have received the money. And that is the problem they got. The CDO reduced to, that's how, those are the problems.
So they would go to the CDO and the CDO would...
The CDOs, after receiving that money, to approve and sign off that, yes, we have received this amount of money. So you find that
the CDO takes a bit of tax, huh?
Yes. So to receive the money, I'm giving you this, how much, and this.
Or some tithe to the CDO.
Of course. That is where the problem comes in.
Right.
The other thing is...
And by CDO, we mean Community Development Officer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The other problem is non-compliance of the staff at sub-county and divisional levels. This has led to loss of finances and sometimes program failure, because you find some enterprises are meant to be funded in phases, but due to unclear reasons, they get the money at once. And this has caused problems.
Okay.
Yes. So, yes, the Auditor General was very right, but it comes back to the young people. Do we know our rights?
All right.
Have we gotten enough information and knowledge on how to manage this program?
One of the things the Auditor General talked about, and Honorable Mbwate Kamwa has spoken about, is non-existent groups. You go onto the ground and you actually cannot find certain groups. Did you find this as well?
Yes, we found it. It is very common. The CDOs themselves, even the COW, they form their own groups. They go in their families and form their own groups. This is evidence from, we have a program that is running at Uganda, our leadership program, the academy. Young people say that their uncle, one of their uncle is a CDO, and he got the cousins, they form groups, and they tell them, we're going to give you like 10 million, and then they don't even give them even a single penny. So that is very common, and I think it also goes back to the ministry. They should help us on that.
All right.
Yes, to follow up on
Goes back to the ministry.
Yes.
Diana, you are from the ministry responsible. And you've heard what the MP, what a person from civil society has got to say about a program that you actually monitor and ensure the implementation goes right. What's going on?
Thank you, Gabriel, and thank you, my two colleagues. Number one, I want to agree with the Auditor General's findings. First of all, we want to put a disclaimer that we do not deny that these things are not there. We actually know that some of these things are there.
The Girmana might chase you.
No. Before we bring in Bijirimana here, let us first accept that most of these challenges we face, number one is deliberate violation of guidelines by the stakeholders. Number two is the corruption that you're talking about. Number three, which I don't want to say that it is a problem, because when you're talking about CDOs forming groups, at least that exonerates Ministry of Gender, that we are not the ones creating the ghost groups. Ours is to make sure that money is there and is there in time, so we do not create the ghost groups. Now, how YLP works is that groups are formulated within a specific area, in a village, for example, and they are selected in a meeting like you've called us here to discuss this. And in that meeting, it is the CDO, the focal point person, the chairman LC3, and the chairman LC1 that facilitate that meeting. And in that meeting, there are people that have applied, have expressed interest to benefit from the program. And from those people that have expressed interest, the community will say, no, these are bona fide residents of this area. We know them. They have applied. They are not thieves. So it is okay to give them money. So that is number one area that should help eliminate ghost groups. So if the CDO or the right people that are supposed to facilitate that activity did their due diligence to select the right groups, you would not have ghost groups. And now that would be against the CDO who facilitated and now claims that the groups are not there.
Okay.
How did that happen? If you had done due diligence, go to identify the right people. Now, number two, he was talking about CDOs helping these people formulate business plans. Their job is to help you in enterprise selection. For example, if you're in Karamoja and you come with your business plan, you want to do fish farming in Karamoja, that's definitely not a viable enterprise in Karamoja. So as the CDO or a sector expert, I am supposed to guide you and tell you this may not work.
Okay.
But maybe cereal banking may work, and bull fattening may work in Karamoja. So the CDOs and the sector experts guide the youth to identify the right projects.
So after the CDO has given that advice, are the youth supposed to pay the CDO when they get money?
They are not supposed to be paid.
What we're hearing is after they've gotten their money,
they are not supposed to be
CDO
paid, and that is actually a criminal case, that in case somebody asks you for money, you should report that case.
Has this come to your attention?
It has come to attention.
And what have you done about it?
Some people have lost their jobs. They have been interdicted. Others have been arrested, and a lot of administrative actions have been used to handle such cases.
All right. You are going on to your third point.
Yes, I was also going to talk about the youth asking for what is best for them. The youth will come up with what they know best. For example, I'll give an example of things I'm familiar with. Bull fattening, I'm very familiar with it. Things to do with cows, I'm very familiar with. So the group will ask for a project based on where they are, but I'm supposed to come in and guide as a CDO or as a sector expert. In this case, the sector expert would be the veterinary officer, the commercial officers, and in other areas, for example, cereal banking, that is produce buying and selling, you have the commercial officers. We have different kinds of experts in these districts where the projects are being implemented. Now, you will ask for the project you know you have experience in, and if you do not have the experience in that aspect, there's also a chance to be trained to be able to implement your project well. So if you know the components of the program.
Speaking of, yes, there is training, and one of the things that delayed, disbursement of funds is people were just not getting trained. In fact, they got trained towards the end of the year. And Uyonet agrees.
Yeah. That I can tell you is on a case-by-case basis. We handle those differently. Each district has its own plan of implementing their activities. But once money is released, the groups should be trained immediately. So if it is not happening, the district is held accountable as to why these youth are not being trained.
Okay. Before we go for the break, in the trainings, are these youth told that this money is supposed to be paid back?
Definitely. It is one of those things that we emphasize, that the Youth Livelihood Fund money is not a grant, it is a loan, and it is a revolving fund, which means that once we have given you this money, you're supposed to use it and pay back within a maximum period of 3 years.
So where's the notion of this is a kasimo to the bazukuru coming from?
The Mbwate Kamwas go back to the youth. and tell them, you people, government money is never refunded because they want to get votes from the youth.
All right, let's. On that note, let's take a break. When we come back from the break, Honorable, you should respond to that. Then we take questions from the audience. Let's go for a break. Welcome back from the break. Thank you for staying with us here on Face the Citizens. I'm your host, Iguma Gabriel, with a panel of three. Honorable Gafa Mbwate Kamwa, he is Kasambia County Member of Parliament. Madam Chibirango Sharifa, Program Associate, Policy and Governance, Uganda Youth Network, and Naturinda Diana Makobore, Communications Officer, Youth Livelihood Program, Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. We're talking about the Youth Livelihood Program. And in what context are we talking about this? A report of the Auditor General, 2018 report, that showed a couple of things were not going the way they were supposed to. In the first segment, we ended off when Madam Makobore said it is the MPs who are misleading people on this fund. Honorable.
Thank you so much. I may not deny there are some MPs who are misleading the youth. That one is partly true.
Thank you.
But we need also to see who is the leader of these MPs. The sole leader who is misleading the youth is President Museveni. Because you will find out that the timing, when we talk about youth livelihood, when was it introduced? He only looks
2013,
yes,
2014.
Yes, but he looks when it is almost time for elections. That's when they chip in and people think that this is a bonanza. This is a bonanza. And again, I might not even blame my fellow MPs who are saying youth maybe should not pay back. Why? If President Museveni is moving with sacks in towns, in the cities, giving out money and of which they are not supposed to pay back, how will my youth in the village benefit? So my youth will also see it as a bonanza. You give people who are in town free of charge and let even those who have taken money from youth livelihood shouldn't even pay. So unless President Museveni puts up a system that if youth livelihood money is supposed to go through Ministry of Gender, he shouldn't even be moving with sacks distributing money. If he's distributing money, let's get the money equitably. Can we see him in Kasambia?
Honorable, you are actually from the NRM.
Yes,
Have you raised these things in the NRM caucus?
Are you given a chance even to speak this? Actually, I need to thank first the citizen. Because for you, you're giving us platform to say this. But in the caucus, apart from talking about Article 102B that can retain him in power,
which you are not
we will not be given an opportunity to discuss pertinent issues like these ones that are affecting the youth.
Honorable. Yeah, I know Diana would like to respond very quickly. Yes.
I really want to respond to that. And I will quickly come to the defense of my program and probably my president, that elections come after 5 years. So are you saying that in those 5 years we should not implement anything? So when shall government work if you're not supposed to do anything within those 5 years because of elections? And number two, when Youth Livelihood Program came in, we did a countrywide training and we emphasized that this is a revolving fund. We had sensitization of all the chairman LC5s, who are your fellow politicians, the RDCs, the chief administrative officers, the focal point persons who are the key implementers of the program. And we emphasized that this is a revolving fund.
This was in 2013, 2014.
In 2013, 2014.
Yep.
And there was nowhere where we said this was a bonanza.
Repayment at that time, hold on.
Number two.
Just hold on.
Number
Repayment
two.
at that time was terrible. In fact, less than 50% repayment.
Yes.
It only increased 2016, 2017, I believe. That's when we saw people paying back a bit better. What did you do differently 2016, 2017 to get people
what
to
we
pay?
did differently actually is that while they were insisting, saying that this is a bonanza, we were also insisting that this is not a bonanza. You have to pay back within a maximum period of 3 years. So those who got money within the 2014, they had a maximum period of 3 years, which was 15, 16, and early 17, because money was funded.
Chibira, let's have Chibirango, because we would like to go to the audience very quickly. Yes, please.
I actually have some some statistics on that. August 2016, we had 8,213 youth groups that benefited from that since 2013, imagine. And only out of the 256 billions that were disbursed, only 83 millions and 220,000 was returned.
Point of correction.
That is 33% of the money that was reversed back.
Point of correction.
Yes.
The initial budget of Youth Livelihood Program for 5 years was
Yes.
265 billion.
Yes.
And that money up to today has never been disbursed. So you cannot say that in 2014, 265.
Actually,
Like
have the-
out of what was disbursed, only 33, not all of it, but a part of what was disbursed, only 83 millions were brought back. And according to Ms. Nachiwala Chiinji, only 80,000 groups have benefited, according to all the youth groups that we have. Looking at the youth in the informal sector, only the formal sector youth are the ones benefiting more of these beneficiaries. You talked about trainings, but when we did the research, these youth counselors and the technical persons don't actually get the trainings. Even when we ask the young people, do these people come and monitor and actually see if you're really implementing the programs? They never show up.
All right, let's find out from the young people.
Can I chip in
Well,
first?
there's a gentleman whose hand just shot up. Let's take that gentleman first. Please write these thoughts. Write these thoughts. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Iguma, and thank you to the panelists, Honorable Mbwa and the others. My name is Maxon Muwezi. I'm a student of political science, Makerere University, and I'm the chairman, NRM Makerere University. Now, the program was launched in 2014, January.
24th.
Now,
24th January 2014.
yes. By May 2018, 341 young people had benefited. I expected, in my opinion, the Honorable Mbwa and my sister there to critically analyze and tell us the possible solutions to the challenges so that we can help the other young people that have not benefited. Now that more than 175 young people have benefited, and we still have issues of monitoring and others, community development officers, the cows, and other people.
All right.
Probably swindling. What are the challenges? Not Musevenizing the discussion
All right.
and dramatizing the issues. These are OMPs. We
All right, thank you,
expect
Waxon.
concrete, critical analysis from them.
175,000.
Thank you so much. My name is Aisha
Yes, Aisha.
Ganda from KIU. And I would like to comment on the Honorable's submission. You're saying you don't have a platform to actually comment on what really hurts. But actually, you're the same people who stay in the same cabinets and vote the same people and pass the same bills. And by the way, for me, if I look at the Youth Livelihood Fund, it's actually like a myth. I do not even want to believe about it because I am a business person and I have a lot of challenges. So how can we even get money and operate in an unstable economy? I believe that things, like making a stable economy, if those things would be catered for, then putting in place policies that are going to help us as individuals, it is going to help better than putting all these funds and they are not even legit. You know, people are not even getting anything out of it.
All right.
Let's go back to the root of the problem. Let's make things clear and then we can start giving money to people because we are not changing anything.
All right.
Thank you.
She says fix the unstable economy and maybe the youth can even find their own money.
Okay, thank you, sir, for this opportunity. I would like to, on a special note, thank Honorable Mbwate Kamwa for consistently acting normal in abnormal situations.
Your name, sir. We did get your name.
I'm called Mwesi Ronald.
Mwesi J. Ronald.
Yes, 4th year, Makerere University Law. So, this program, when you look at the statistics, it's a mere sham. that needs a review, restructuring, and at the best point of Ugandans, a disbandment.
Disbandment?
Yes, to remove it completely. Because of clear views that I want people here to distinguish between benefiting and eliminating. Those are two English words, but with different meanings. Even if I come here and I sit, I have benefited to enter. But I may not have, I may go back the same outside when I'm the same. So the ignorance I came with is not eliminated. The point here is, the mere writing on papers that I have received the goat and it dies tomorrow.
Why does it die?
Because of one thing. Look at the way these people get these things.
Okay.
Who sells them? What do they? How does this fund flow?
Right.
And in which spirit was this fund introduced?
Okay.
We are tired of policies that are mileage to the government. You bring a policy just to give you a mileage, a fuel to extend.
Okay.
We have an example of the 1997 Entandikwa. Where did it go?
Okay.
Entandikwa, people are still poor. People are still in UP schools. 1997, we're in 2018.
All right.
2019.
Ronald, you've made your point. Let's get responses. Ronald says, actually, we should do away with the program completely.
Okay. Now, thank you, Ronald, for your submission. I can see you have some anger, but you need to deal with it before we talk of eliminating the program. Number one, if you have not heard about the program, that does not mean that the program has not worked or it has not benefited other people. I can give you an example.
He also doubts the thing of benefiting, because if you sign that the goat dies, or the cow happens to be barren.
Explain
that
to
one
him.
is actually not part of life.
Number one, really, if you ask for a goat, Ronald, I am very sure you know how to rear goats. So why do I give you a goat and you let it die? Do I also need to come and show you that you need to let this goat out at this time and rear it? Because it is community demand driven. You're asking for something that you know how to do, and if you do not know, ask for training. The trainers are got by you, the beneficiaries who we have given money. You're the one who sources for the trainers. We don't impose on you training.
Okay.
So if I give you money for training and you do not train on how to rear your goat, definitely it will die, and you cannot blame that on me. So you cannot say that the program should be removed because of that. Number two, if you're talking about benefiting, a Youth Livelihood Program has funded over 200,000 youth, and we are 7 million young people in Uganda. So it cannot reach everybody that has applied. Some will receive and some will be left out. But it is a revolving fund. And revolving fund means if 5 of us have received, we should use, pay back, and 5 more are given. And that money is not coming back to government. It remains in your respective districts. If you're from Chiruhura and you have received 800 million, have you used that money effectively? Have you paid it back? And is it revolving in your district? So if you do not revolve it, then other people are being left out. But as government keeps sending in more money each financial year, we try to reach as many people as we can.
All right.
So that does not mean that the program is not effective.
All right.
Please allow me to also respond to Aisha.
Very
Aisha
quickly.
is saying she does not know about the program. Have you been to your nearest sub-county? Do you know which one is your sub-county, first of all? If you're in Kampala, have you been to any division to find out about the program? Because it's not going to find you in your home. You have heard government is giving out money. How do I get this money? Have you expressed interest? You go to your nearest division, go to the nearest sub-county, and find out how this money is being accessed.
All right. Honorable. Let's have Honorable quickly.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, let's take Chibirango.
Yeah, there is a gentleman, Muhwezi, that wanted to know recommendation, because now we shouldn't complain about what the program has done and what it has not done. Yes, YLP is very good, and it is very, very talent explosive capacity for the young people to develop and the country at large. However, I urge the government, the ministry, to put this money towards more of program assumptions, capacity building of young people. Because yes, we get the money, but sometimes we don't have the capacity. You think these people are giving us capacity, but they don't actually train the young people on how to access the monies.
Okay.
We need M&E plans on how to monitor these funds feel supervision so that this money is more valuable to the young people.
All right.
This program ended in 2018 and the government has extended it to another year. However, we feel saddened that the budget has been cut down by 93%. How can the government help us to increase on this money so that we get more beneficiaries?
Let's
lobby for more funding.
They're saying lobby for more funding.
Yes.
But let's take a break. Let's take a break and then we will come for your comments. Let's go for a break right now. Welcome back from the break, and we are glad that you've stayed with us here on Face the Citizens. I'm your host, Iguma Gabriel. With a panel of three, we're talking about the Youth Livelihood Program, and my goodness, during the break, it became very heated in here. Naturinda Diana Makobore from the Ministry of Gender. She is a communications officer with the Youth Livelihood Program. The Honorable Gafa Mbwate Kamwa, he is Kasambia County Member of Parliament. He says he's the people's choice. And finally, Chibirango Sharifa from the Youth Network, Uganda Youth Network. Honorable, before we went for the break, Diana said the Youth Livelihood Program should even be given more money. MPs should lobby for them to get more money.
But before that, that's where they go wrong. One, the Minister of Gender is more interested in recovery. They are not interested in finding out the impact. Which impact has it caused? They go arrest the youth to recover the money. But those who benefited, you're saying they benefited, but did it cause any impact in the community? So, Diana and your team, I would be interested that can you try to verify and we find out, did it cause an impact to the community? And this one comes in line with the messenger who said, no, I think either messenger, yes, Muwez. So let's concentrate on the impact. It's very important. But then we add you money. But we've given you money. There is no value for money, and you want us to increase the budget. That is what you're interested in, because you will get per diem, you will get even all the allowances. So,
I am very sorry.
And now, back to another point I can try to bring. Yes, Maxon, you said we should be talking about possible solutions. I will give you, but I'm not a moderator. If you asked a certain question, you're not supposed to deviate. You wait when he asks me about the possible solutions. I have as many as possible.
All right, we're going to come to you for solutions. But however, let's take some questions. Let's take some questions. There's a gentleman here in a black coat.
We cannot leave those statements hanging.
You're going to have a chance to. Yes, sir.
My name is Frank Mwesgwa.
Yes, Frank.
I want first, you see, by introduction, he's a rebel MP, so he will not deal with anything to develop the country because he's opposed.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, being an MP...
We have a panelist clapping today.
Mr. Mbwate Kamwa, you can't tell me that you're an MP of Kasambi and you've not seen some beneficiaries from this group, this. Another thing, for you, you're not differentiating from sacks of money and the Minister of Gender. There is money for Minister of Gender, and then there's money of President. Then the question that I want to pose to the Minister of Gender, how are you going to help us from these politicians? Because they are the leaders at the ground level. I'll bring my group because I was not in the back of this LOC one last elections. So you not allow my group to go through. Right. These Mbatekamas will always leave our groups down and accept the others. Which
influence peddling.
I'm called Tinda Amon from Jambo.
Yes, Amon.
I wonder when a member of parliament says, I'm not given a chance to speak. Really? Huh? I want to tell you this.
In caucus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But have you attended caucus?
What about
you're a member of parliament, sir. You're a member of parliament.
Okay.
You have to speak on our behalf.
On the floor of parliament. Yes. Okay.
So,
all right. Amon, thank you. Let's respond to those questions. Honorable, let's start with you.
It's me talking first.
No.
He's the one who closed.
You're not a moderator.
You closed.
Here.
Yes, Honorable.
Yes.
The couple of people who have sent their questions were directed at you.
First and foremost, I need to thank them. And my friend Amon, I think said that why not give any chance to benefit?
No.
Yes.
And he says you should speak about these things on the floor of Parliament.
No, floor of the Parliament we speak. Actually, I'm among, we have even a parliamentary caucus, a parliamentary forum for the youth. And I'm in my 40s, but I'm there to speak for them. But when we talk about, yes, but when we talk about where I'm not given an opportunity to speak, that is the NRM caucus. That's why I was even called a rebel.
But you have
because
a floor of Parliament.
Yes.
Bring them up on the floor of Parliament.
Let him
my
finish.
sister, yes. Yeah. My sister talked, my sister Aisha talked about fixed stable economy. Now, I appreciate these people are being given money. But I will give you an example briefly of a certain group in my village.
Oh, so there are groups in your village?
Yes, they're there.
Thank
you. Yes, I'm not denying, but I'm saying the impact. You just listen to this story.
All right.
They were
Go
given
ahead,
money, and their project, they were supposed, they made a coffee,
tree nursery.
A coffee nursery bed. And they were even given an opportunity to supply to Uganda Coffee Development Authority. But they supplied in March. Uganda Coffee Development Authority, it is a government entity. They supplied in March. Up to now, they've not been paid, and they are supposed to, their money is supposed to
they're supposed to pay back
interest, yes, with interest. And what did I do as a leader? I only wrote to the RDC and the COW. I said, please, can you stop the interest? And the moment I see you here coming to arrest these guys, you will see me. I wrote to them because I needed to protect them. So government is even trying to make the youth poorer by giving them money, but even it fails to pay them in time.
All right. Okay, Diana.
Now,
I'm coming to you after Diana.
You're
very
mixing
quickly,
up
Diana,
issues.
because we're running out of time.
Number one, if these youth have supplied to the Coffee Development Authority and Coffee Development Authority fails to pay them in time, we cannot arrest such youth. We actually help them readjust the repayment schedules because funds are paid according to the repayment schedules that have been put in place. Now, for those that we arrest are those that have defaulted, run away with their money, and the projects are not on ground. But for those that have, for example, been hit by natural calamities, we also reschedule for them. We even refinance. So for you to say that Ministry of Gender just arrests, that's misleading. It is not there, and we only arrest.
There were those that were being arrested and they called upon the president to help them.
Those that are being arrested, I can assure you, are those that have run away with the money, the projects are not on ground, and there is no recovery.
And actually running to Congo.
Yes, but for those whose projects are on ground, even if they're having challenges, we help them readjust the repayment schedules.
All right.
And if they have shortages, we give them more funding so that they're on ground and they continue working. Now, talking about us being interested in recovery, those that were funded in 2014 and are being asked to pay in 2016, really, is that harassing them? And you have a maximum period of 3 years.
Tell us more success stories.
For those that have been that are able to pay within 1 year. And for your information,
I think we will have to have another show on success stories because we don't have the time to talk about success stories today.
There is a compendium of success stories that we circulated in your pigeonholes.
You should
that you have no idea about.
You should have sent to their iPads. The pigeonholes may not work.
If you send a success story from Karamoja when Mubendi is not there, then you shouldn't even send me that story.
All right, let's have Chibirago. Let's have Chibirago very quickly.
The only issue now is, to me, how do we get this money increased?
How do we get the money increased? So you also believe that the budget should be increased?
It should be increased. We already have beneficiaries.
Thank you.
According to the statistics that we have, the beneficiaries are there. However, to a larger extent, yes, most of them may not have benefited because we lack capacity.
So how do we ensure that with an increasing budget, we are not increasing, funds to go to groups that are going to disappear, groups that are going to divert money? How do we ensure that we are not going to make CDOs richer?
I can supplement on what she has said. Now, in the 5 years that we have implemented the program, there are lessons that we have learned, experiences that we have accumulated, and we are going forward improving step by step. we also went through a learning experience
All right.
in the first, second years. So along the way, we know what is working and what is not working.
Okay.
Now, with the increased funding, we hope that we would reach many more youth, and we'll have more youth recovering this money and paying back, and we reach more and more as we revolve the funds.
Okay.
Yeah, the recommendation. Can I say something?
Actually,
Civil society.
I'm going to start on recommendations
Yeah.
with Honorable, and I'll end with you. So,
All right.
Honorable,
Honorable is not
recommendations.
on ground.
You said you have many recommendations.
Oh, thank you so much. One, 100% I agree that we need to increase the budget.
Thank you.
That one I would agree.
You have agreed with Honorable,
Yes,
finally.
but listen, this budget, my suggestion is this money should even be changed from the Ministry of Gender. We create a youth development bank where it is put in the bank as a pool, and they can access that money.
Diana, you clapped too early.
Yes. So, because honestly, your impact, you fail to cause an impact, and even the accessibility of this money is the challenge. So if we put it, maybe we create like regional banks for the youth.
All right.
That money they can access.
Another recommendation.
Yes, another recommendation. This money, they are now trying to take it to State House, if you're not aware. I'm recommending that instead even this money going to State House, we rather keep it with the Ministry of Gender.
Thank you.
Because in State House, there is no way, listen, there is no way how my youth in Kasambi is going to benefit. How often does President move there? He will only move in controversial towns where people power guys are going to benefit because he knows he wants to get attention from them. So, and again, even the way of accountability. He's not going to account because we have even State House classified budget of which you don't even pop to know I did this ABC.
Right.
So we rather keep it in the Ministry of Gender if we cannot create a youth development bank. I thank you.
Diana.
I must admit, Honorable Mbwachakamwa is very dramatic. He's a drama king. But number one, the Youth Development Bank. Looking at the banks that we have, I think that one of the biggest is Centenary and Stanbic Bank. If you have a bank opening right now for this particular program, how much capacity does it have to open branches in every district so that every youth benefits? We are implementing the program
There's
through
agent
the
banking
already
right now.
existing government structures.
Okay.
We work through the local government structures.
So we take it to State House, it is also existing structure.
Listen, do not just argue. So we work with the existing local government structures, and these are supervised by the Ministry of Local Government, where Ministry of Gender gives technical support to these people and also helps in monitoring and supervision of what is being done.
Let's hear some of your recommendations.
I don't think that recommending a bank, a youth bank, a commercial bank,
All right,
whatever
Diana,
that
we're out
is.
of time. So some of your recommendations.
My recommendation is that funding should be increased.
Okay.
And we recommend that more resources are admitted to, are given to training of the, and increasing the technical capacity at the local government. Because one of the challenges we face is the limited capacity at the local government levels and the stakeholders at that level.
All right.
So more funding should be given to those people so that we have more to help implement the program.
All right.
Thank you. Me, I would recommend that the ministry should develop clear monitoring and evaluation plans. Yes, that really monitors these people, and they should be also incorporated in the guidelines to make sure that they follow up on the program. The other one, I would say they should also put up clear field supervision, because according to the research, I've been in Palace, I've been in Jinja, I've been to Ntungamo. They never monitor these guys. They don't monitor. Those that care, they're the ones that take back the money, but they never go there.
All right.
Then, the National Youth Council, we recommend that we were working with the National Youth Council, and we recommend that there should be a monthly stipend for the youth chairpersons. Because these are part of the, at least to motivate them in monitoring this program.
Right. Is there something the youth can do to ensure that this fund that was created for them is actually effective?
Hold their leaders accountable.
They should hold their leaders accountable, but also they should seek for knowledge.
All right.
If you're not knowledgeable, you cannot advocate for what you don't know.
All right.
Seek for knowledge and have evidence on what you want. Have facts on what you want as young people.
we are out of time and we have to end here. But our panelists, thank you very much for being a part of
Ms.
Face the
Tiguma, you have
Citizens.
given us a little
Our audience, thank you for being a part of the show here at the Wizards Auditorium, and you watching us at home by television. You make this show happen. So thank you very much for being a part of the show. Find a way of monitoring and ensuring that the money that's given for youth actually changes their lives, so that there's actual benefit. From me, Guma Gabriel, and the whole team here at Wizards Foundation, thank you for being part of the show. Until next time, goodbye and God bless you.